Hey plant fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is part of my jungle. If you are not new here, thank you for coming back. So today I have a fun one for you. At least I hope it's fun anyway. It's fun for me, and it is my top 10 most underrated plants in my collection. So I'm going to take you around the apartment and show you all of the plants that I have in my collection that I think don't get the hype that they deserve. So let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with my choices, if you have these plants, and if there are other plants that you would add to the list that you have in your collection. So let's get into the video. So these plants are in no particular order, but this is my Hoya Chelsea that sits behind me on the shelf here. I was just sitting here. This is the Hoya Chelsea here. And one of the reasons why I love this one so much is just because it's so simple and it's such an easy grower. It's totally covered in cat hair, which is disgusting, and I need to dust my plants. But look at these gorgeous leaves. I know that there used to be a lot of hype around this plant a couple of years ago when it was harder to find, and it's definitely died down. But in my eyes, she is still one of my favorites. I absolutely love her. I kind of forced David into buying this one at like a Home Depot or something years ago. I repotted it for him into one of my favorite pots, so he says that it's my plant because I basically pushed it on him and then put it in my favorite pot. Good times, right? Good times. So this is one of my favorite plants, like, period. I never get tired of looking at her. I think she looks absolutely perfect in this pot, and she's been a really nice steady grower for me. She, you know, doesn't go crazy because she's a Hoya, but you can see even as the weather is cooling off, she is still working on some little baby leaves. So I'm not mad at my Hoya Carnosa Chelsea. I'm pretty sure it's a crinklate crossed with something else. You know what? I don't know. Don't quote me. The next plant, or plants rather, on my list are some of my succulents. Let me turn you around so you could see better. This is a Cotyledon. I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but I can leave the name of her on the screen, and she's one of my favorites. I think this plant is super underrated. I think that succulents in general are super underrated, and I just love her little leaves, and I love the way she trails, and I really love her in this pot that I got from, I think, World Market. And I love her. I think she's adorable, and I think that people struggle with succulents, and that is why they don't like them. But as you can see, I have lots of assorted cacti and succulents going on up here, and I think that they're all underrated, to be honest with you. So I'm putting them all on the list today. Another plant in, I guess I should say our collection, because this is a David pick as well, in this ridiculous pot that's also his. This is the Anthurium Cobra. So I'm not sure if there's another name for it. We just picked this up at a nursery, and it's been a really easygoing anthurium, and I think that anthuriums of this sort, this more like bird's nest vibe going on, are super underrated. I mean, and it does look pretty cool in this pot, I'm not gonna lie. But I love the simplicity and the texture of the leaves, even though they're kind of dirty, and I can't get this to focus very well. But this lives in our bedroom. It gets some bright indirect light, and it is very happy. It gets watered when I remember, and I think it's just been a really fun, easygoing anthurium to have in our collection. So there you go, Anthurium Cobra. Don't remember where we got it, but it's really cute. So there's a handful of plants here in the bedroom that I think are super underrated, but I'm going to start with my Calathea Makoya, and you guys know this is one of my favorite plants in my collection, period. I love these big, gorgeous leaves, and I just think this is one of the most underrated Calatheas. I think that Calatheas in general just get a lot of hate. The underside of these leaves is absolutely stunning. When it closes up at night, you can see them. It's been doing really well in my care. It's not getting crispy at all without like tons of humidity. I mean, I have a humidifier here, but let's be realistic about how much this actually does. And I have it in this cute pot that I think accents the plant really nicely. So yeah, that is my Calathea Makoya, and I think this is number 4 on my list of underrated plants in my collection. The next one is right over here, and that is the Aglaonema. Oh, I always do that, forgetting that it's attached. The Aglaonema Chocolate. I'm not sure if it's underrated or, like, honestly, Aglaonemas in general are just super underrated, because I know that for people who like Aglaonemas, this is definitely a sought after variety, but I do feel like ags in general are just super duper underrated. They're very easygoing plants, and I have little to no issues with them. This one especially is just really, really stunning. I love the pink veining on it. It does have a little bit of mealybug left over that I keep having to clean, but you know, that's just life sometimes. Yay, I gotta get rid of that leaf. So at least I noticed it, right? I check on this at least once a week. I'm gonna keep her just here for now. Another one on my list is this Epipremnum Marble Queen, who does not look like a Marble Queen anymore. I am aware. She looks, you guys said, more like a mojito, which is really funny because she does kind of have that more minty vibe to her now than the creamy, more traditional ones. I don't know what this leaf is doing. Maybe it'll be a little creamy. Looks like it might be. But I don't know. I love her. She's up on this massive plank from Treleaf, which I enjoy because it's extendable and really, really easy to attach your plants to. Plus they look really cute. And, oop, that one's green. Don't like that. But this one's pretty cool. Not mad about that variegation. But I definitely think that the Marble Queen in general is super underrated. I think it has some of the most gorgeous variegation on any plant, like, period. So mine's definitely a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. I'm pretty sure it's just reverted. But yeah, it always had more of like a Snow Queen vibe to her. She had very, very creamy leaves, so I don't know. Maybe it's just not very sustainable, but these leaves are pretty stinking cool too. So highly recommend. I think that all pothos are really underrated. I even just have like a jade in the window here that I love. I love the simplicity of it. So there you go. Epipremnum, aka Pothos Marble Queen. I wanted to turn you around and show you this one so you can see how big it is in relation to my face. This is one of my Ficus Elasticas. This is just the regular green one, and I think that it is super underrated just because of how common it is and because people don't really seem to like ficus as much as I do, but I love this plant. I love a big leaf plant. This is a really easygoing plant, in my opinion, to take care of as well if you have the right environment for it and the patience to figure out what it likes. It is not a difficult plant to keep alive. I have lots of Ficus Elasticas, or rubber trees they're also known as, but this one's one of my favorites, and I think one of the most underrated because it's just the plain green one as opposed to some of the more rare ones I have, like the Shiveriana up here. I've got the Taneki, I've got Burgundy. The only one I don't have is the Ruby. I haven't found quite the right one yet, but yeah, love, love, love a rubber tree. These are the easiest ficus that you're ever gonna have out of all of the different ficus species or varieties. So just saying, my Ficus Elastica is definitely a super underrated plant, and it's working on some new growth. So, and I got it at Trader Joe's for like $10. You really can't be mad about that, right? Lives up here on my shelves, which is unfortunate. You can't really see it, but it's still beautiful. So not mad about it. Another plant, or plants rather, on my list of underrated plants in my collection is this Ripalis that I can't remember the name of. I'll leave it for you on the screen. And this is just one of many Ripsalis varieties that I have in my collection. This one I love because it gives the illusion of like a moss or like maybe certain types of ferns. I don't really know, but it's a lot easier to care for than actual like mossy looking plants. So yeah, this is a Ripsalis that I can't remember the name of, and my cat scratching on his cacti scratching post. You like it? Yeah, you get that cactus. Anyway, this is one of my many Ripsalis varieties that I have. I can show you some of the other ones quickly that I have as well, and you can see just how weird and different they are. Another Ripsalis variety hanging out over here, and then one of my favorites is the Prismatica. No, not Prismatica. Paradoxa. I mean, it's really cool, right? So you have lots of really cool different varieties of Ripsalis, and they are actually jungle cacti, so they're a little bit thirstier than regular cacti. I treat them the same way I do as like succulents and Hoya. I water them the same way I water the rest of my plants, to be honest with you. Give them nice, bright, indirect light, and they have been growing, and they've been very happy in my care. So Ripsalis in general, I think, are super underrated, and my cat is now just literally following me around and scratching every post in the apartment. What are you doing, bub? Hey. Hi. You're so cute. Yes, you are. I love you. What do you want? Are you hungry? You're always hungry. What else is new? Sometimes he tries to eat the plants. Okay, fam, we're sitting down again, and for number 9 on my list for my most underrated plants, I have my Hoya Fungi Eye. She's super thirsty right now, but she's still beautiful. I just need to water her. Luckily, they're very drought tolerant, Hoyas, so I just think that for Hoya collectors, maybe this one isn't super exciting, but I think that the leaves are absolutely stunning, and I think that this is one that everybody should have. It's been a really easy grower for me. It's got 2 new tendrils that it's thrown out in my care. This one's going crazy. It even has a peduncle that I'm hoping will bloom for me again come springtime. But this is just one of my favorite Hoyas. Don't mind her wrinkly nature, but she looks like shit, doesn't she? So even though she kind of looks like trash right now, she's still a really beautiful Hoya when she's well watered and not looking like this. So Hoya Fungi Eye is definitely one that I think a lot of people overlook, and I don't recommend doing that if you find one and do like Hoyas, because it's a really easygoing, fun Hoya to grow. I love how big the leaves can get. And then the last one on my list is probably the weirdest one, and one that I need to do something with, because this is not a cute situation. I have it on one of these Treleaf extendable planks, and it was doing fine until it stopped, and then it just flopped over, and now it's trailing. And it's got lots of new growth coming from the bottom here. This is my Ceropagia sandersonia, and I just think this is one of the weirdest, coolest plants in my collection. I feel like people don't really look at other varieties of Ceropagia. They just really stick to string of hearts, and I think that's a shame because there are so many cool ones, and their blooms are kind of insane. So look at the texture on these leaves. Thankfully this one's not thirsty, so I could show you the leaves up close without them looking terrible. But they have this like really subtle veining. They're a little bit ripply. They're pretty thick too, so it's got like a Hoya vibe, but it looks almost like ivy. The leaves remind me, like the shape and the texture and the way that they're kind of ripply like that. I really just need to propagate it. I haven't propagated this yet since I got it, but I probably should. So yeah, Ceropagia sandersonia. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should do with this plant. Like, should I put it on a trellis? The stems are just like, they're kind of thick. I don't know, it seemed to enjoy growing up. A lot of people trellis these, so let me know what you think. I think it kind of looks cool as a trailing plant, to be honest with you. I might want to propagate it into some trailing pieces. So let me know in the comments below if you think that I should trellis this or let it hang. What would it look better as, a trailing plant or a plant on a trellis? I can leave the link for these Treleaf extendable planks. This is the smaller version or a skinnier version of the one that I have the Marble Queen on in the bedroom. I have a discount code if you guys want to place an order with them. They have lots of really cool stuff on their website. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you should give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. There's a join button down there if you want to be part of the official plant fam. My cat's in here again. What are you doing, bud? He's very nosy today. Anyway, there's a join button if you want to be part of the official plant fam. Did I just say that? If not, there's a super thanks button if you want to super thanks me. And yeah, that's really it. There's a Facebook group. I need to restock the website. I haven't really had much going on there, but I promise I will do that soon and I will announce it and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for new plants. I'm just in the process of literally repotting everything that I own. So focusing a little bit more on my plants lately, and then I will be able to focus on getting them propagated and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go. I appreciate you, fam, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.